Hey guys, this is Mark from Mark Vlogs Watches, and today my heart is heavy, fellas, because I have to report that today I lost Jupiter, my beautiful cat who featured in several of my videos a while ago. You constantly asked for Jupiter to appear in videos, but as he was getting older and beginning to fail, I didn't really want to put him on camera. He would get pretty annoyed at me, and you'll see in some of the pictures here how an annoyed cat can really express himself. So I do want to talk to you about a couple of watch-related things today. I feel it's important to make contact with you at this time when I feel sad, but also because I think that the continuity of keeping our lives going in the direction of expressing ourselves emotionally, but also following up on our hobbies is good for us at this really difficult moment that we're all experiencing around the world. So right before we jump into the meat and potatoes of this video, I want to sincerely thank you for taking this journey with me, for spending some of this time together in our community. And I want to let you know that I'm thinking about you and praying for the health of you and your family at this time, but I'm glad we're sharing a little bit of time together. Now on with the show. Earlier, I had reported that Rolex requested special permission from the Swiss regional government to open early with a skeleton crew so they could ship out any watches that they had already completed and already had COSC certified. So apparently they just ran out of the factory quickly. Wasn't quite an orderly shutdown where they got to ship out the last of the stock. There's stock there in the vaults and they wanted to ship it. However, they have been turned down by the regional Swiss authority that governs them in this emergency situation, and they will not be able to open early as they have not been deemed an essential business. So Rolex, smacked down by the Swiss government, they're going to have to wait in line like regular people to reopen. Guys, next I want to read a letter to you that I have received from a young man in Mexico City, Mexico. And he's got a dilemma, I've got an answer, and I want to know what you guys think of my answer and of this dilemma, so you can talk about it with me in the comments, but here is the letter. Dear Mark, my name is Diego. I am 21 years old and I live in Mexico City, Mexico. I recently saw your video where you received a letter from Moneypenny, who seems to have an insight into Rolex production. Moneypenny stated that Rolex has a stock of already made watches, which is ready to be distributed to different ADs, etc. You mentioned it might be a possibility for people to get Rolex watches. Well, a few days ago, just as things started to get crazy here in Mexico City, I finally got the call I have been waiting for about 3 years. They have a Submariner to offer me. I have been longing for a Submariner since I was 14 years old. And I have had this interest all my life, really, it seems. I have worked very hard to assemble money so that if I ever got the chance to buy a Submariner, that I would be able to purchase it. And my plan is to wear the watch for the rest of my life. And I would always thought that I would try and buy this for my 21st birthday, and here we are. Given the current situation, my investments haven't been performing very well, and I'm sure it's a similar situation for everybody else. At the same time, Rolex has recently increased its prices about 10 to 12% since last year, and that might have been fine a month ago, but now it feels unreasonable. I really want this watch, but I don't want to make a hasty decision or buy a watch I believe that later I would be able to get at a lower price. So my question is, what would you do? Would you buy this watch now, or would you say thank you and walk away from the authorized dealer and wait for better times? Do you think that I'll be in trouble and that they'll remove me from their list if I say no to this offer? I want to be on good terms. I just don't want to make a bad deal. Thank you so much for your videos. Respectfully, Diego from Mexico City. Holy cow, there is a lot to unpack there. Diego is 21 and he has investments, and he has scraped up enough money, which he made it clear in his letter that he saved this money himself, to purchase a Rolex Submariner. Like, that's just amazing. And that you're tracking the performance of your investments. So I'm going to read to you the way that I answered Diego in a letter, but before I do that, I want to add this one thing. Diego, you're very, very young, so you haven't really had the opportunity to see the economic ups and downs that people who are older than you have seen. The economy is cyclical, and it typically has a downturn, and then it comes back and roaring back. Admittedly, the situation that we are in now is unprecedented, so there is a lot of unknown and a lot of fear in the marketplace, but traditionally Rolex has been a terrific investment, and given the fact that you're intending to keep it for life, I'm not going to tell you it doesn't matter what you pay, because clearly you're a frugal young man with a great sense of responsibility about money. I applaud you for that. But kid, you can't go wrong if you get that Rolex now and with your name on the warranty card. Anyway, here's what I wrote. Diego, buy the watch. You will never regret it. I doubt you'll get it cheaper, as the Sub is the absolute icon of Rolex. Also, buying from the authorized dealer rather than a gray market eventually, you'll have your name on the warranty card, and that's going to be special. The only way you'll ever beat the retail cost is buying used, and I usually advocate that, but not in the case of a young man's first good watch. Rolex is never going to lower their MSRP, so I think your investment in a Submariner will be safe long term, and one day you'll be very glad that you purchased this when you could. Well, guys, did I steer Diego right, or did I send him down a false path? Let's talk to him in the comments. Give him any advice that you can think of that you think it's important for him to know. This way we can make a broad community effort to help the kid. And also, I want to thank you folks for spending all this time with me today. Please go ahead and throw a like on this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done it yet, because 2020 is going to be a wild year, and I'd like to do it together with you.